Hi, and welcome back to a new episode with Tinoco 1. This week we are going over the episode 1119, The Chitters, written by Nancy Wan. She has written one other episode to Supernatural, and if you'll remember, she is the new kid on the block. They just hired her for the season. Like I said before, very impressed with her material and what she's done so far. This episode, again, still very impressed. So she came out the gate strong and she's kept it up so far. So very, very happy about that. I didn't get a lot of reaction as far as your questions and stuff to this episode. This video is going to be kind of short, followed by a couple of other little things kind of off topic and yet somewhat related. So hang tight for that as well. But we'll go over that real quick and I'll talk about the episode, okay? This episode was called The Chitters, based off of the monster of the week that was in it, that I forget how they referred to, what they said the name was. It's an all new monster that we've never seen before. And symptoms that they thought people were displaying in it, because they didn't realize it was monster at first, is called getting the chitters. And it's basically, they think it's some sort of like, you get hyped up on hormones and lust and want to bang everything in sight and your eyes glow green with lust. No, you're sort of infested by like a parasite that uses you as its personal breeding horse, impregnates another breeding horse, and then you both die. And the female acts as an incubator. It's very disgusting, actually. Very gross. Not cool at all. Very nasty. So, we'll get into that real quick. Anon said, I like the episode a lot. The only thing that will disappoint me after watching this episode is Dean and Castiel not being hunter husbands in season 12 or before the end of the series, whenever that is. Literally nothing even has to change between them for this to work, as we saw tonight. They just have to say it once to establish canon, and then I can finally be happy and at peace because Dean and Cass as hunter husbands. Hunter husbands! This is all I need. Anon said, I have mixed feelings about 1119, to be honest. I mean, I enjoyed the episode a lot and really appreciate the hunter husbands, obviously. But I can't help but feel a bit disappointed because I feel like after all this, we still probably aren't going to see any progress when it comes to Castiel. They literally set up a perfect storm for it to go canon this season with all of this. The pining, Dean only thinking about Cass despite Amar's creepy bond, hunter husbands, etc. And we still won't get it. I'm torn. Okay. I'm going to put this in my own personal opinion as gently as I possibly can, but as blunt as I normally am, in the hopes that I can maybe give perspective, while at the same time not offending you. You should never, ever, 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 ever be offended by what I say. And if you should be offended by what I say, I will let you know both before and afterwards that you should be offended. Anything other than that, usually I'm generally just trying to help. But generally, this is something I have seen a lot of as far as in reaction to the video. Is that the only thing people seem to talk about is the fact that, one, Castiel going canon. Couple things and I'm going to go over it. One, yay, another gay couple that survives and is just presented as a normal freaking couple. That was amazing. So far this season we've had lesbian mamas. And then now we've had hunter husbands, which is awesome. Seriously. And they all survived to the end of the episode. That's amazing. Especially with what's been going on in the LGBT community as far as characters on television show. And the fact that we have lost a lot. Especially recently. And somebody finally did like a poll of characters just in media television. And as far as like, you know, basically what happened to them. And like, I think it was 93... the majority of them, I think they came to a 93 was the total number, have died. And that's just the lesbians. That is just the lesbians or the bisexual characters. That's not even the men. That is just the girls. And that's just main media. That's not even like branching off into books or smaller television shows that weren't very popular or something like that. No. That's just the really popular ones that everybody has possibly heard of. 93. So, it's a big deal that we've had lesbian mamas and hunter husbands, you know, and we've been talking about hunter husbands since season 8. I think that's a phrase we actually coined ourselves, referring to Dean and Castiel, because they act like an old married couple, which was kind of beautiful to actually literally get an old married couple who are hunter husbands on the show. And the fact that, hey, proof, if Dean and Cass got together, literally nothing would change. Except occasionally they'd be affectionate with each other. But one thing I keep seeing, and it kind of bugs me, is the fact that everybody is so focused on whether or not Dean and Cass become canon. And the fact that they're just like, you know, we're being set up for disappointment. Okay, first of all, yes, I get it. The show could possibly be setting you up for disappointment. But in my personal opinion, you are setting yourself up for possibly being disappointed. The argument is the fact that Dean and Castiel are not the prime aspect of the show. That if they became canon, their relationship would not be the prime aspect of the show, and therefore the entirety of the show would not change. And yet, that seems to be everyone's focus, is on Dean and Castiel. You know, you can't say it won't change, but then your focus solely be on this one element, one aspect of the show as a whole. You have blinders on, you know, and yes, if you are only watching the show with Castiel in mind, you are possibly setting you up for deep, deep, deep disappointment. I mean, do I want Castiel to go canon? Absolutely. But I'm also completely happy just watching the show. And, you know, are they going to win? Which, of course, they're going to win, but at what cost? You know, and I don't watch solely to see, okay, is this the week they finally get together? And that seems to be, given reactions that I've seen over the past several weeks, it's kind of a disturbing trend I'm seeing, is that that's all anybody seems focused on, is about, you know, will Castiel finally go canon? Okay, well, you know, if you're putting all your eggs in one basket, no matter how it ends, if Dean, Sam, Cass all survived and retired and started up, you know, Wayward Daughters Academy, and Claire started, you know, alternating weeks that she lived with Dean and Cass versus, you know, versus Donna and Jody, then you would still be disappointed because Dean and Cass still aren't canon. You know, regardless of all the other stuff that's going on that, hey, we should be happy about. You know, you're so solely focused on this one aspect that is only a portion of the overall actual show, that you're hurting yourself. You know, it's not so much that the show is hurting you, it's that you are so focused on this one thing that it makes the pain worse. And so I think a lot of people are setting themselves up to be hurt worse than they would need to be if Dean and Cass actually don't go canon. Do I think they're gonna go canon? I have high hopes every season. Like, literally. According to my friend Larice, I'm apparently a Disney princess. That birds braid my hair, or that birds make my bed and squirrels must braid my hair. Because I'm the most optimistic, happy person ever. She's very insistent on this. So, you know, I don't ever lose hope. I always hope. Very much this season, the narrative on it is very much leading up to the fact that, okay, Dean and Cass could go canon. We haven't had this much strong Castiel since season 8, which was apparently so gay that Bob Singer stepped in. Well, Bob Singer pissed off fans enough, he got fired. And this is the first season without him in it, which case, of course, you can see the complete contrast to when he was in charge and dictating what was to be done and censoring the actors and everybody else, and causing so much trouble that Adam Glass quit, you know, to this season where he's not in charge, and is just an honorary, you know, creative executive producer, whatever, or consultant, I think is the word. He's in the same role as Eric Kripke. He's not in charge anymore. It says he is, but he's not, because I think they pulled, like, the public records tax information, whatever, and it says that he is a consultant, and that actually Phil Skriga has Bob Singer's old job, which is great. So I'm really worried that a lot of people are shooting themselves in the foot, rather than so much Supernatural hurting them. Do I think Supernatural will make Dean and Castiel canon? I hope so. I think they very, very, very easily could. I think they have very much set it up to where they could just slide right into that Joker. Because like I said, past 6 episodes, only thing on Dean's mind really is Castiel. They keep going on hunts because Sam is dragging them out on hunts. One, trying to get Dean, you know, to get his blinders off and get him focused on something else, because, dude, when was the last time you slept? You know, or when Dean is bowling with the beer bottles, Sam hasn't been drinking those, Dean has. You know, and the fact that Dean is basically showing symptoms that he did, like, back in season 7. Where he's not sleeping properly and he's drinking himself stupid again, and it's all to do with Castiel. And Sam is worried out of his mind what is going to really become of Dean if something happens to Castiel. Which is why, like in last episode, he's sort of trying to prepare Dean for the worst. And Dean's not having it. So yes, I think we stand a very, very good chance of Destiel, but I think that if you are solely watching the show for Destiel to become canon, and that's all you want out of it, one, you're watching for the wrong reasons. Because again, the show is an ensemble at this point. It's about, you know, more than just Dean and Castiel. It's about Sam and Dean. It's about Crowley. It's about Rowena. It's about Lucifer. It's about Amara. It's about all the characters at this point. Not just Dean and Castiel. This is not a fanfic. Okay, so moving on. I've got one last ask. Like I said, I didn't get much reaction as far as this episode went from fans. So, Anon said, I was kind of disappointed at the end of the episode because for a second I thought they might ask for help from other hunters for once. But then Dean was all, go on, live your life, let us shoulder the weight of the world. They should rally all the hunters they can, after all. This is the fate of the planet we're talking about. Thoughts? I think Dean realized that would have been a very selfish choice. You literally have 2 hunters who are getting out, who have spent who knows how many years hunting, that Jesse has been basically on a revenge quest since he was 12. The Winchesters can relate to that very hard. And here are 2 hunters at a happy ending. You know, that they had a deal. That one, had Dean asked them and had Jesse agreed, it would have caused friction between him and his husband. Like, whoa. Like, whoa. And they see 2 people who are able to get out and get the impossible in their world. It's like a fabled unicorn. It doesn't happen. And for them to basically be like, hey, yeah, can you basically sign up for this mission that's probably going to get one, if not both of you, killed? Dean and them wouldn't do that. And if they did, we'd all think they were dicks for it. Like, selfish dicks. And then we'd, of course, see a gay character get killed off and would be infuriated over that. So there was no good way for that to end. So, no, I have no issues with Dean telling them, you know, peace out. Have a good life, you know. And also, it also lays the stepping stones for Dean having hope for the future and settling down. And that he can one day have that happy ending. Because Dean, probably since he was about, 16? Is basically when all his hope died. And all he gave up basically having any dreams and hopes and wishes for himself. And the fact that he would basically die with a gun in his hand is his father basically put that into his head. That he would never be free, and that he would always be a hunter, and he would stop being a hunter the day he died with that gun in his hand. One, he doesn't think he deserves that, and he doesn't see how it could ever possibly happen. And then there's all these hints this season about follow your heart. And then, okay, now there is happy endings, and how, you know, you have these couples that are getting their happy ending. So, but we'll see. Okay, moving on from that, we have a couple of things real quick that I want to go over. First of all, real quick, how many tea drinkers do I have in the group? Go on, show of hands, raise them. Yeah, I see you, I see you. So everybody who is a tea drinker, not you, Mr. Coffee Drinker, I have a surprise. I don't know if you follow me on Tumblr, if you're aware, but if you do or if you don't, regardless, I'm going to inform you that there is a supernatural line of teas brought to you by Adagio Tea. That I actually designed all the different flavors of tea. I have 18 total, I believe, 16 of which are supernatural teas. And you can either get them in the samplers for like $5, you can get the 3-ounce pack for $12, or you can get the 5-ounce 10 for $24. Each one with their own individual artwork and stuff like that, and different flavors. It's really great. It's actually what I'm drinking now. I'm drinking the Becky tea, which tastes is like you make it and literally all you can smell is strawberries and roses. And it's really great. If you're like Ugg Bunny, you can drink your tea straight. Me, I can only do that if I'm drinking green tea or like a sort of mint tea or something like that. Other than that, I need cream and sugar. I'm Southern, dude. We like our tea sweet. And like I said, I can only drink specific teas straight. Now, as far as the teas, the samplers come in little tins, little half-ounce tins, like these. And you've got Dean and Sam, Becky and Lucifer, and even one who is actually not a canon character, but I forget she's not a canon character, Savvy. And one of the great things about Adagio Teas is the fact that actually they have it set up where, on the one hand, you can either set it up to where 5% of every sale goes to the charity of your choice, which is how I have it set up. So 5% of every sale goes to St. Jude Children's Hospital. 2, it also does all these really cool promo type things. Whereas if you buy, say, two teas that are in a ship in the 3-ounce size bags. So say if you buy Dean Winchester, since he's in a ship with the Castiel tea, you get a 10% off discount if you buy the 3-ounce bag. Or say if you buy the Lucifer tea and the Sam tea, you get a discount. Or if you buy the Becky tea and the Sappy tea, you get a discount. Like I said, that only happens with the 3 ounces, but it's still really cool. Personally, I prefer the big 10s. So far, I have a growing list of ones I want to get the 10s in. Because the Meg tea, the Savvy tea, the Crowley tea, the Dean tea, and the Becky tea, and the Lucifer teas are my favorites. There's a couple of them I didn't really care for, but it's strictly because, okay, that's not my kind of tea I like to drink. Like the Rowena tea has chamomile and stuff in it. I don't like chamomile. But other people who've drank it loved it. And they drink it straight, no cream, sugar, nothing. More power to you. I can't, nope, and it's just not my style of tea. There are several different options as far as your caffeine intake. There are high caffeines, there are moderates, there's low caffeine, and then there's a couple of decaf options, I believe. So we have your characters, we have your flavors, we have your caffeine. And you can pick and choose as suits you or your wants, taste, desires, whatever. I'm not actually big into the fruity ones, but I seriously love, like, the Becky one, the Claire one. The Claire one tastes more like strawberries and peaches, and is very, very, very good. Whereas the Becky is strawberries and roses. Claire's, I think, is strawberries, peaches, and maybe vanilla chai, something I don't remember. But they're all very, very good. So far, like I said, all the ones I've tried so far, very good. So I very much recommend those. You can find those at the link you see on your screen. If you buy them, don't forget to leave a review. That earns you points toward your next cup of tea. Once you earn so many points, you get a gift certificate to buy more tea from their website. So don't forget to do that. And then also, you know, you can also recommend it, and that if other people purchase teas based on like a gift card or something that you use to promote it, you get more points back. And every time you buy tea, you're donating money to St. Jude. So that's also awesome. So very excited for that. Other than that, yeah, we're good to go for this week. I don't have a clue what next week's episode is about other than Chuck is going to be in it. Yay! Or rephrase, Rob Benedict is going to be in the episode. As Chuck, as God, who knows? As some weird bizarro combination of the two, because they're time sharing a body. Don't know. But it's guaranteed to be awesome. We are in the final running stretch. Things are getting serious. It's gonna hurt like a bitch, because every season finale does. It's gonna hurt. And if this show puts us through all this pain and all this agony and actually ends, like the show ends with everybody dying or with Dean, Cass, and Sam dying, I will flip a bus full of children. Like, I'm not playing. It will not be good. That will be a bad day for everybody, especially for me. So, you know, think of the children. End it happy. And that's it for this week's episode. I will see y'all back next week. Feel free to subscribe, like, comment, and I look forward to hearing from you for this week's episode and also next week's episode. Don't forget, you can always send me a question, comment, reaction for 24 hours after the episode originally airs, and I will answer it before I do the next video. Bye!